Welcome back to Live at the Roxy.
Ooh, that intro, though.
Let's see. Just checking in with my dear friend, Ben Goddard. Do you recognize that song at all? See, this is how not relevant it is and how little say they have. This is my intro song, and this last week it was pointed out, this is the Pride's song. This is your song, Ben. This is the song you entered to in the Schmodown. And everybody's been saying to me, you're going to need to change it. But I know the players don't even know what songs. They're stock music. We all find it on the same site. That is your song, and you're not even aware. I didn't mean to just set you up there, but I think you're okay with me having it then. Ben Goddard in the house. Woo-hoo!
Oh, it is. I just looked at a video. It is.
It's your song, but it's my song. But it's everybody's song because that's what royalty-free music is. That's what happens when you don't pay for music. People end up with the same tunes.
I also know, like, David B is like writing all of our themes now, so that it was like, you know, kind of an emergency theme that we were like, we'll do this, and then I know David B is writing something new, so.
That happened for a lot of my players too. They said all this is subject to change. David B is going through each faction. He's writing the faction song, then he's doing the top players songs and so on. So he will be getting, I think, to almost everybody. But I've been like dug my heels in the sand. Like, I don't want to change my song because I know that it's not going to stick with anybody else. Maybe one day I will, but I was like, oh my God, Goddard's coming on. He's going to know. Nope. He didn't even know. If I hadn't said anything, you would have just jammed out.
Yeah, I love the intro. That was great.
I dig that. Thank you. So we've got the Goddard stamp of approval. I guess we just need the Rachel stamp of approval and we will be good to go. Welcome back on the show, Ben. Last time you were on, you were right here with me.
God, it feels like forever ago, and it's barely been 8 weeks. Like,
wait, is 8 weeks true?
I think so.
Because no, last time you were on, we were still doing SEN. We had come right back from that, so that was, I think that must have been 4 months ago, 3.5 months ago.
Was it that long ago?
I don't know. I'm making shit up, but like, they'll tell us.
Yeah, they'll definitely tell us.
It was definitely pre-April. I think pre-March. I think we're talking February, but I could be wrong. You guys let us know what date was the last time that he was on the show. And I don't even know when the last time we did SEN in studio was. That was the first week of March, maybe?
No, I know that one. I think it was the second. It might actually... I just know that the last day, whatever day me and Sabrina went to the aquarium, whatever day we finally went to the aquarium, that was the last day because we literally did SEN. It was pouring rain. We drove to the aquarium and like we stopped. I was like, things are closing. Let's make sure this thing is open. And then it was. So we ended up going. And then the next day like that. And then I went to see Bloodshot that night, that POS movie. And then later on,
it's the last movie we all saw in theaters.
Oh God, that's so unfortunate.
March 5th. Everybody's saying March 5th was the last time you were on the show. So that is 2.5 months ago.
Jeez, that's so nuts.
2.5 months ago. I have not seen. Who are you seeing right now? Are you doing social distancing, socialing, or nothing?
Literally, like I picked up Sabrina's cat. Because I'm cat sitting for her, and I drove her to the airport, and then
she left.
Yeah, she went back home for a little bit, just to, because like both of her roommates went back home, so she was just like, I might as well do that too, and just kind of get out. And I've known her cat for a while, and it's like the sweetest, like most chill cat that just naps all day. That's literally all it does is nap. So it's like, oh, baby, I'll cat sit. That's fine. And
Are you a cat person at all?
I'm definitely more of a dog person, but this cat is the exception to the rule for sure. This cat is so chill. She's so nice. Like, yeah. Damn.
I've never heard a person describe a cat as nice.
It is nice. It lets
What do you
you
mean
rub
it's
its
nice? Like it takes
it
care of you?
doesn't scratch, it doesn't hiss. It like I don't think it likes to be picked up, but it'll let you pick it up and just be like, okay. Like
Fine,
it
fine, bitch. You gotta pet
yeah,
me.
it
Go
lets you
ahead.
scratch its belly. What
That's
cat
nice.
lets you scratch its belly? Let's
That's a
be
good point.
honest.
It's a good point. So your cat sitting right now, does your place smell like cat piss? Because I gotta say, a lot of places with cats smell like cat piss, and the owner says that it doesn't, but it does.
It does not, and I will tell you.
Are you sure? Or are
Well,
you just
one,
getting
I'm
used to
not
the
used to the
smell?
smell of cat piss, so like I agree that you get nose blind to things.
Yeah.
But also, this cat is so good. I closed my door one day, so I had the litter box in my room, and then I moved it to the living room just in case like she needed it if I ever accidentally closed my door. Turns out like I heard that this boing, and I was like, what the fuck was that? The cat had reached under the door and had like flicked the door stopper. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? And so I open it. She runs in where the litter box used to be, looks, it's not there. And I was like, oh, it's in the living room now. And I walk over and I show her. And then she walks over and goes to the bathroom in the litter box.
Wow.
Yeah.
She waited for you to pee?
Dude, like that's how good this cat is that it was
Damn.
like, I need to get to the bathroom. Here's the signal. And then when she realized the bathroom wasn't there, she still held it to when she got the litter box.
I've never heard of that.
I
have
in the
never
middle of
ever
live
heard of
streaming
that.
and I had to was like, guys, let me tell you the story because it was that amazing. Just like any animal that does that.
Damn, what a good cat.
Good cat.
I'm pretty impressed by that. Let's go into the super chat. We got Patreon questions for you. We got Streamlabs questions for you. We got super chat questions for you. And we got a bunch of talking to do today. So let's just start with Larry Lease, who says, guys, hit that like button. Roxy, you are amazing. Ben, what has been your favorite game that you have played during quarantine? Thanks for calling me amazing, Larry. Are you gaming a lot right now, Ben?
Yeah, I play a lot of games like I had since I host the murder trivia for Schmodown, which I am happy that it moved to Saturday because maybe we can get you to play. I know you have your Saturday shows sometimes.
I do Saturday shows every day. Every
do?
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm 7 days a week. What time did you guys move to Saturday on?
I think it's still going to be the same time, like 12:30 or 1 or so.
Yeah, I go
so I know
1
it's
to 2:30 on Saturday.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, you guys don't love me at all. But I hate fucking trivia anyway. I hate it. I suck at it and I hate it. What are you looking at?
I just want to coming down Rosamund's Pike is just like annoying, so I'm just gonna block him on my thing so I don't have to see his dumb fucking comments.
Oh, he's pissing you off. Hey, listen, I find that the people in here are very subject to change and growth. So coming down Rosamund's Pike, if you want to stay without being muted for this, then we're gonna stop using the term that you're using. Thank you very much. I know that you think that it's funny and sweet and endearing, but it's not. So we're going to play nice. And if we don't, then we're going to get booted. Everybody cool with that? Cool. Okay, games though. Talk to me.
Well, I play a lot with like my patrons and my Discord people will play like Fortnite and that'll be fun. And then other like story games, the Spider-Man game. The Spider-Man, I've said over and over, like, those big games that you can literally do anything in? Like you can like there's like Red Dead Redemption where you can spend all day.
Shit about games, Ben. I don't know anything.
Well,
I just found out what first person shooter and third shooter was or whatever it is.
I got you. Well, like there's these huge games that like they'll just be a whole city or something like that, and you can do whatever you want. You can literally do side missions. You can do the main story. You can go pet a dog. And I usually don't like those games because I like
you can't pet a cat though. We
can't pet a cat.
No,
it runs away from you.
Yeah.
And then, but like Spider-Man was like a fun game. And then, what's his name? John Oliver just talked about sports on Last Week Tonight, where he's like brought up marble racing. I've been doing marble racing for almost 2 months now.
Wait, just to clarify, is that exactly what it sounds like?
It is like, first, like the thing he talks about is like this YouTube channel where they build these tracks and have different colored marbles and name them. And they'll just go down these tracks, and like it's really
Rube Goldberg.
No, they're just tracks. Like there's like dividers, there's turns, there's curves and stuff, but they're just race tracks.
Let me look this thing up. What kind of race tracks? What do you mean?
They're like
marble racing.
Just type in marble racing.
Okay, let's see. I wonder if I know how to play something from here. Do you guys want to stick with me while I screen share it? Let's see how this
Yeah,
works.
just go share screen, and then
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
doing
click.
it, but don't show these tips. Okay, share screen. Friendly heads up. All right, we're trying. I'm going to share the audio on it. Actually, maybe I shouldn't share the audio because then I'll get flagged, right?
Yeah, don't show the audio. I literally showed 4 seconds of like BBC's Murder Hornets thing when they came out, and I got demonetized.
Oh no, we don't want to do that. Can you see this?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
What is this? No, we don't care about you, David and Carl Rove. No, move past it. Come on, bitches. All right, what do we got? Let's see.
So fast forward a little bit, and then like just right there. So like
wait, what in the sand?
Yeah, they just build these tracks, and then you see like the leaderboard at the top. And I started out as like a joke where I would like fake commentate on them, and I have a YouTube video of me doing it. But I stopped doing their races because I didn't want to like use their content for my content. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. But there's a game on Steam called Marble Races. And what you do is you put it up, you connect it with your stream. And if people want to play, they type in !play, and everybody gets their own marble. And like everyone has their own name and everything like that. So you can see who wins. And I'm doing it again
I'm kind
this
of impressed
Monday.
with that. Wow.
Yeah, I'm doing it again this Monday. We're doing 10 races, $5 a winner. And then we're doing like first place gets 5 points, second place gets 4, third gets 3, fourth gets 2, and fifth gets 1. After 10 races, if you're the points leader, you win $25.
I would like $25.
Yeah, come on in.
That sounds fun. I'm kind of into what you just said. It's strange games,
swear,
but
like,
okay.
You can ask any of my Discord patrons, just like casual stream viewers. No one thinks, and even John Oliver said it, this should not be as fun and as exhilarating as it is because they're inanimate objects rolling down a hill.
But if they have names, you get attached.
Oh, yes.
Can I name one of them?
You type in your name and you'll be your own marble.
But I want to give her a cool name.
Oh, okay. Well, you and your nicknames. I always forget you and your
nickname.
I
want a nickname more than anything. Larry Lee said, and I said to you, Ben, today, I was like, do you have any thoughts on this? Because I know you guys have been talking about this a ton, and we're talking about it a ton now because we've been talking about it every day for the last several years. So now there's finally news.
It's crazy.
But thoughts on the Snyder Cut, Ben? Obviously, for anybody who doesn't know, it was announced that they will be releasing the Snyder Cut 2021 HBO Max. So, Ben, what do you think about this? Have you been invested in this at all? What has been your Snyder Cut journey?
Well, I don't want to deflect, but I do want to get your thoughts real quick because you're DC movie news. You guys have probably been dealing with this more than anyone, honestly. So how do you feel about it?
So we had a guy in the stream yesterday. I forget what his name was. You guys will remind me, but he was kind of a dick because I heard he was jumping around from Roka's stream to Riley's stream to my stream, but I let him talk because I get people need to air out their grievances because he was on my case about the fact that I said I did not believe the Snyder Cut existed, which was, I said that 2 years ago. Maybe 2.5, whenever this started when people started talking about this.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that they need till 2021 and tens of millions of dollars to complete this in order for there to be a movie means that the completed Snyder Cut doesn't exist. But also, it doesn't make any sense. But also, I was talking about the information I had then. Now I'm talking about the information we have now. So things change, and that's the way that the industry works. But I didn't really talk much, Ben, about how I feel about it. And how I feel is pretty excited. Yeah. I know that this thing might be upward of 6 hours. Obviously, I will watch every single minute of it because A, what I do for work, but B, I'm super invested as a DC fan, and I want to see if there's another version of this movie that I've never seen before. I want to see it. Do I think that this will be a letdown for some people? I don't know that. I don't know how it couldn't. There's been so much hype around this movie. Everybody thinks this movie is going to be God's gift to Earth.
Yeah.
That I feel bad for the movie. And I feel bad for Snyder because there's nothing he can do to make everybody happy. There's just no way. So I'm a little nervous about it. But for you, how are you feeling? And again, like, what have you been supporting this for a while? Did you think it really existed?
I was in that camp. And again, like, we're not wrong with saying the Snyder Cut didn't exist. is there a bunch of unused footage that they didn't use for the film? Yes. I guess that counts as a Snyder cut, but to add $30 million more to and that's what everyone was saying. It's like, guys, and that's what everyone's been saying from the beginning. It's like, yes, there's a bunch of unused footage, but it's probably all green screen. They need to use CGI, color correction, ADR. Like it's film. That's how movies get made. So yeah, like no one ever doubted that Zack Snyder didn't have footage that they didn't use because of the unfortunate circumstances that he went through. But like to say that, oh yeah, we proved you're all wrong. It's like, no, you didn't. We're still right.
Why is that the point? Like, shouldn't they? If you wanted the Snyder Cut released, right now isn't the time to say "told you so." Right now is the time to celebrate. Yay! Thank you so much for releasing this. I'm so excited about it. Like, why are people's goals in life to prove other people wrong?
And that's what worries me is like, this happened with Sonic. When that Sonic design came out and it was real bad, everyone revolted, and they made it better. It was significantly better.
I like the original. I'm like the only person. I can't help it.
That might be the least surprising Roxy thing I've ever heard, honestly.
I know. She can't help herself. Yeah. But yeah, it is like that. It is.
But then on the other hand, it's just like, I feel like, and it's not everybody. There's plenty of people that wanted the Snyder Cut. They're like, man, I love Zack Snyder, and I just wish I could see his DC movie version because he was the Kevin Feige of this, for better or for worse. And so, like, to get that drastic shift, everyone's like, oh, that is different. That is different. Yeah. I don't know if I like that. And I don't mind. Justice League is just a harmless movie for me. It's okay. I like what they did with some of the things, and I didn't like some of the things. Like, it is a mess of a movie just as a film, but I didn't mind it. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that was, yeah, exactly.
What it was. Larry said, I didn't believe the cut existed either. Yeah. And now it does or it doesn't, whatever. The point is we're getting a Snyder cut. So yippee or whatever you feel.
Exactly. Be happy about it. Now it's not that, like, when the extended versions of Lord of the Rings came out, I didn't go, hey, suck it, everybody. Now I'm getting another hour of Middle Earth. I'm like, no, this is amazing. I get another hour per movie of Middle Earth. That's exactly what I wanted. And so I don't know if this thing should be 6 hours. I'm like, I realize you have a vision, my friend, but you also need to be realistic and make a movie.
6 hours is woof. I mean, that's a straight up miniseries. You are making and then maybe it should be that.
If it turns into an HBO miniseries, I'm all about it. Because TV is probably the best medium to tell stories like this now. And so I'm hoping it's a series, honestly. I'd rather, even if it's a 3-part series and the thing's 4 hours long, I'd rather see a 3-part series done super well than like just an overblown 4-hour movie. Like, look at Clone Wars. Like, Clone Wars, the 4-part series of the last 4 is like, you could make a movie of that, but man, doing those cliffhangers, how each episode ended, it was perfect.
Larry says, do you see the Snyder Cut as a series on HBO Max or just a straight film? I kind of think they're going to do it as a straight film, but I think it might be smarter to do it as a series like we're talking. So yeah, I guess we're just going to have to see. Jacob Patrick, who makes all of my amazing thumbnails. He is the shit. Obsessed with you, Jacob Patrick. Dude. Oh, he's so fucking great. I can't live without him and Jake Yacovetta doing all of my intro stuff. They're amazing. But he says, dropping in real quick at work. Love you too. We love you back.
Love you too, brother.
You rock. Thank you. Lucas Shashak says, despite what any of the trolls might say, the marble races are definitely not rigged. Damn you, marble races.
Lucas has definitely been some victories have been swept out from under him in the last minute of these marble races, and he's not been too happy about it.
I get it. I'm a competitive person too. Speaking of being competitive, we will be talking about the Schmodown towards the end of the stream because we will be doing a spoiler review, discussion, whatever you want to call it, but not now. So no worries, no spoilers yet, and keep it spoiler free in the chat, y'all. Thank you. Brandy, my girl, says, Rox, I suck at trivia, but the first time I played murder trivia on Ben's stream, I won. If I can do it, so can you. The marble game doesn't like me. I can't do trivia. Even the word trivia makes me not be able to answer any trivia questions. Like, if I hear it's trivia, my brain shuts down.
Dude, like, try hosting this thing because, like, I bought it for Schmodown. I played it like once or twice on the Schmodown trivia, and then I played it a bunch on my own stream. I've won one trivia game. I have won one. You know how hard it is to keep a straight face and still be the positive person when you're just getting your ass kicked the whole time. It's like,
getting your ass handed to you sucks.
Congrats, everyone.
Great job, you guys. Congrats. James Wheeler, hello, Roxy and Ben. Ben, I know you spoke about the Nightingale, but what did you think of it? I know it's dark, but I loved it. What the fuck is this?
So the director of the Babadook, Jennifer Kent, it's her next movie. Oh. And James, I liked it, but I'm never gonna watch it again. It's one of those films like a Schindler's List, like a 12 Years a Slave, those kind of movies that you're like, man, that was good, but I never want to go through that again. So I will salute you, and I'll see you never.
See you never. Ferris Muthana says, people talking about Snyder Cut, this and that, but where is our Cyborg movie? I actually just reached back out to Ray Fisher's publicist because we had him on DC Movie News back in the day, and we want to have him back on to discuss this. I'll let you guys know if we have any luck with that, because I would love to hear his thoughts. But I also thought Ray Fisher was an amazing cyborg. And initially, what's so crazy is the DC, when they announced their slate, I believe 2020 was, maybe even 2019 was the year they announced we were going to have a cyborg movie.
Well, obviously, what was it, like 2017 we were supposed to have Flash?
Yeah. So, I think they're a little behind on it.
Yeah.
I still also don't know. Do you remember, did you see everything that happened, Ben? I don't know if you were paying attention to the Ezra Miller situation.
Oh, where he pushed that girl at the bar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever happened with that? Because even
nothing. So I'm confused, because either that was scripted and somebody should come out and say something, or it wasn't. And are we just going to ignore the fact that he assaulted a fan?
Because you couldn't tell, because the girl was kind of laughing because they were kind of joking, but then I remember seeing the video, and the security guard came out and said, no, he was drunk and out of line, this is real. And then it disappeared. It's like everything in the news cycle, it trends and then it goes.
People got paid off, but I don't know if something really happened there. You would think it would come back up before we have another.
Warner Brothers just can't get they just cast the wrong people with Johnny Depp and then Amber Heard and now Ezra Miller. And it's God.
I know. But I feel like it's all camps, because also, do you remember the Marvel one? Was it Jeremy Renner with his wife with those text messages that were released?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Wait, I don't want to say the wrong. I'm pretty sure it was him. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. Who was it with their wife with the text messages back and forth that were painful to read? But it was one of those Johnny Depp Amber Heards where it was on both sides. It was just icky to read. Why am I reading this? I don't want to see this. So you guys keep me posted. I know that you know what I'm talking about. PLD Paul Denuzio says, I've had enough of idiots getting what they want and then having to crap on everyone else. How old are we, people? What is this in response to?
I'm assuming the Snyder Cut.
Oh. How old are we? How old do you feel like you are?
Since quarantine started, 83.
Yeah, me too. I'm right up there with you. Yeah. Totally. Paul also said, wait, I can't time Goddard out here. Crap.
I win for today.
Because Yakavetta texted me the same thing. So very funny.
Amazing.
Great minds. NFL Caleb 22 says, Ben, what did you think of the Cowboys draft?
The draft was good. We just got to sign Dak. We can sign the, a first round receiver and stuff like that. And I like that we got Andy Dalton as a backup, but we just got to sign Dak Prescott. And until then, nothing's really going to matter until you got a franchise quarterback.
Do you think we're going to have football in the fall?
No.
I don't. Think that it will not be, the games will be played, but we can't go, or you think there will be no football?
I don't think there's going to be any sports. We saw it when this first thing started, the fans weren't getting sick, the NBA teams were getting sick themselves. And NBA teams are 12 people, not 53.
Because they're sweating on each other.
Exactly. I miss sports so bad. And this is coming from someone that doesn't really watch baseball, but I'd watch baseball every day for a month if it means all sports were coming back.
Yeah.
So I wish it was. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I don't think we are. and especially when it comes to NFL, because NFL depends so much on fans selling out stadiums. Because like NBA is like, their longer seasons, maybe teams like the Kings and like the Pistons and stuff like that, they won't sell out every home game. Every game of the NFL season is sold out because there's 16 games. It's such a small finite amount, and everyone wants to see them.
Yeah.
And it's all their stadiums are like, 50,000 plus. And so that's so much money being lost. And I mean, maybe we'll get it and get like NFL pay-per-view or something like that, but I don't know.
We'll see. Wait and see, I guess. Preston says, I always say going into any media consumption, have super low expectations. I can't remember the last time I was super disappointed by anything I've watched. Again, probably in regards to the Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
I guess, but I don't think that most people can manage their expectations that way. It's just not a very human trait. I know that I have a hard time doing it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys too. Do too. Lucas says, I won't speak for myself, but you're extremely old, PLD.
The fact that Lucas donated $5 just to smoke PLD is my favorite thing ever.
It's amazing. Mayra M says, Renner is going to throw a nasty child custody battle. The ex released publicity accusations, accusations, and Renner released that X is touching the child's trust fund. Yeah, this was like a messy situation that came out.
Gosh.
But I don't even want to talk much about it because it was like,
I was gonna say just that donation was just like, I didn't even want to like touch any of that because you never know. Because we all thought we were right with the Johnny Depp stuff. We all thought, and then like the other side came out and everyone's like, whoa, we got like everyone's got to rethink this now.
Yeah, they've been going back and forth, and it's just like icky.
Yeah, that's literally all you can say is just like
yucky. Going into the Patreon, some questions for Ben in here. Patreon.com/Roxy Stryer. Ferris says, hey Ben, longtime fan, what's a hidden talent you have?
I don't think I have any hidden talents, honestly.
No way, come on.
I used to be able to click my tongue really loud. Now even that's gone because it's getting old. I'm gonna do that, but that's about it.
Wait, I think I spit when I just did that.
See, everyone can do that. Everyone can do like, but I can like do it like it's like sharp. So yeah, I'll do that.
No. PLD shooting back. I'm not old and vintage.
He's a fine wine, Lucas.
I don't know if that counts. Mayor says that's one of the reasons the Hawkeye show is on hold and why Renner's asking for lowing child support money because he's not making as much. Still icky over there. So going back into the Patreon.
Yeah.
Alias says, for both of you, if you had to teach someone something, what would you teach?
Oh, I had to teach someone something.
What are you best at?
I don't know. I guess like maybe something involving swimming. I'm pretty good at like breaststroke. I used to teach swim lessons and stuff like that. So I think I can do that. Yeah.
Do you still swim?
It's so hard because like all the LA fitnesses I go to, like it's either the pools are flooded by old people doing and if it was old people doing like their walking exercise in the pool, fine, do your thing. I realize, my joints are falling apart. Do what you got to do. But it's just them doing this. Just sitting there. And then when I swim by, they're like, why are you splashing me? I'm like, I'm using the lap pool for what it's meant to be.
Speaking of old people, Jake Yakavetta says, nah, Paul, you're old as hell.
This is the best way to make money.
Oh, I didn't mean to just put this up, but now that it's here, Ben just lied. He can break down.
used to be able to.
Oh, I did mean to put that up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I did. See, it made sense. She has her reasons and her ways. Let's jump into the Streamlabs for a second. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Glenn Caesar says, hello, Roxy and Ben. Happy Thursday to you both. It's great to have you both together on screen again for another episode of Live at the Roxy. The last time was super funny, and I'm sure that this time will be too. He said this before the show started. Again, thanks for virtually hanging out with us today. look, he just wanted to show some love. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
that,
much.
Glenn.
Last time was super fun. I finally got to feel the comfy pillow, and I was stroking it the whole episode.
You don't get the pillow when you're not here. I was gonna bring it over, but then I was like, am I just rubbing it in his face?
It would have been a major tease.
Just kind of rude. Delicia_Renee said, hey, Roxy and Ben, how are you guys doing this afternoon? See many folks going order online crazy, which got me thinking, what's your favorite gift you got for yourself? I'd tell you mine, but apparently I don't know how to buy gifts for myself, according to friends.
1 second, I'll go grab it.
Oh, you're gonna grab the gift? What'd you get? For me, the best gift I bought for myself.
Way too inebriated at Disneyland.
Okay, what is it? Wow. Those things are like
this was $170.
Damn. I want one of those so bad. That's what my brother's wife got for him for his birthday the other day. Pretty cool. Yeah. Like a customized
it's even got like a wall mount on it so I could hang it up, but I love this thing.
I love that. I don't know the best gift I ever bought for myself. I really don't buy gifts for myself. I buy gifts for other people. So I don't know that I have an answer. I do think that this is smart, PLD. It says, Jake, shouldn't we be teaming up against Ben? Yeah, you guys have been going after each other. It's kind of interesting. Austin Kramer just showing some support. Appreciate that. Weston Ira in the Streamlabs.com/Roxy. He actually said to not read it out loud, so I won't, and I'll read it later. But thanks for the support. Brandy Parker said, no questions, just love and support. Appreciate you, Brandy. You are the shit, baby. Jake Yacovetta says, how much do I have to donate to time Ben out for 5 minutes? It would have to be so much.
Hey, set that price, make that money, girl. I'll take the hit for 5 minutes. Absolutely.
Ben out for 5 minutes. I don't know. But why would we want to do that? I don't know if we put a price on it. I think you're priceless.
I appreciate that. But
welcome.
If you want to put like a solid grand down for it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. A grand. I'd take $1,000 for it for sure.
For 5 minutes? Hell yeah.
Let's see how that goes.
You better take $1,000 for 5 minutes, timing me out.
I'll
take myself out of the stream for $1,000 for 5 minutes.
Not too shabby. I would split it with you. I'll split, but then I think that might defeat the purpose because I'll take
10%. I'll take 10%.
A finder's fee.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas Emmett says, hey Ben, it's great to have you back on the show. This is a question for both of you guys. I've recently rewatched the movie This Is Where I Leave You with Jason Bateman, and it's one of my favorite movies. But it wasn't a hit with the critics. I just wanted to know if you guys have a movie that you love, but it didn't receive positive reviews from the critics. Yeah, every movie I love doesn't receive positive reviews.
Yeah.
I did see this movie, This Is Where I Leave You. Did you see this also?
No, I missed it. I heard good, like decent things though. It's been coming up lately, surprisingly. Like it's been coming up a lot.
It was okay. I think there were great parts to it. I think that this is one of Tina Fey's weakest performances. I know that so it's not a comedic role for her. And I don't know, there's something about, I think Tina Fey is a genius, but this was not her at her strongest, but the rest of the movie I really did enjoy.
I think Tina Fey does struggle when it's not her material. Mm-hmm. Everything she's written and done, I've really enjoyed. But just whenever she goes outside of it, it seems like she's a little outside her comfort zone.
I
love Rock. I liked, Date Night with her and Steve Carell. I watched a little bit of Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, and I was like, this wasn't as bad as everyone said it was.
Any movies though for you about the critics that they didn't like but you loved?
I loved King Arthur: The Legends of the Sword. The Charlie Hunnam one.
Yeah.
I love Guy Ritchie. I was so I get it because the movie opens up with giant elephants, and I was like, fuck yes, dude, I'm in. And then it just went crazier from there, but I was okay with it.
I'm obsessed with Life Itself. You guys know that was like my fave movie of 2019. Was it 2018,
Life
2019? Now I don't even
itself.
remember. Was it last year?
The thing is, like, all these movies with these titles, This Is Where I Leave You, Life Itself. I'm like, okay, what are these generic ass? Oh, the Oscar Isaac and Olivia.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
it has a
I remember seeing that
13% on
one.
Rotten Tomatoes and everybody hated it, but I'm telling you that movie is worth your time. I weep during it. It's so beautiful and it is incredible. I hate that people don't like this movie. It makes me feel disconnected to
Well,
the
you love the
world.
show, right?
Yes, This Is Us. I love that show.
Yeah, because it's the same guys or the same writers,
Dan
right?
Fogelman, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Austin Kramer says, Roxy, did you see that Sonia Deville is campaigning to be Batgirl? So for anybody who doesn't understand this, Daria Baronato is a dear friend of mine. She is a WWE superstar, and she is a proud member of the LGBTQ plus community. She's actually the first openly out female in the WWE, and is just like a badass, awesome, very talented person. I did not see that she's campaigning for this. I actually think she would be an amazing pick for Batgirl.
Yeah, I'm looking at her right now.
She's fierce as fuck. She's definitely could do all of her own stunts and is. I know that it's very important to the character and to the community that they do cast somebody who is part of the LGBTQ plus community. So I feel like all around she'd be a great pick, but I don't know what that would mean for WWE stuff. So maybe she could do both. Wishful thinking.
I mean, you see Sasha Banks in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, The Rock and John Cena are up there. You just saw Fighting with My Family. Now, granted, they didn't cast Paige because, she's older than her origin story, obviously.
Right.
But you start seeing, like, the wrestlers really making that crossover to not mainstream, but, like, movies.
Yep.
And people actually taking them seriously. Before it was like, oh, this is a Stone Cold movie. Oh, this is a so and so. Like even before, oh, this is a movie with The Rock. Now it's like he's Dwayne Johnson.
But they are transitioning out of the WWE to do those things. So
yeah.
I don't know. She's just really making way in the WWE right now, and so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I do think she'd be a great person for them to look at.
What do you think of?
Oh, that's Batwoman. Oh, she's campaigning for Batgirl in the movies. Sorry, I thought that said Batwoman. Oh, interesting. That's kind of funny. I guess I could see her as Batgirl too. Sorry, guys, I completely spaced, and I don't know why I thought that because we've been talking about the Ruby Rose stuff so much. I thought that they.
Do you think that's what he meant? Is Batwoman, not Batgirl?
I don't know. I'll have to look at it because Batgirl, I guess you could campaign to be Batgirl right now, but in what? In Gotham City Sirens, or I don't even know what they're. I don't know. So
I let's just assume that it is Batwoman. Like I do want to ask you, like, how you feel about the Ruby Rose news. I didn't watch any of the CW stuff. I can't keep up with all that.
Yeah, I feel conflicted. Because we obviously don't know the story. There is a clear, real story here that we are not aware of. This shit doesn't just happen. This is the biggest recasting in TV history, literally the number one biggest, if you ask me, because I don't know that the lead character, the titular character on any TV show has ever been recast after a full season. We know that some supporting people have been cast after a season or have been recast after the pilot, or
written off and then replaced, not recast. That's the difference.
And the way that she phrased it and the way that it was phrased, I don't know. To me, something clearly there was a disconnect or something happened here. We've had major movie recasts, but not TV, not like this. And she was so excited for the role. There was a lot of criticism of her, but I really like her. So I don't know. I truly don't know. I know that you don't watch, but did you have any feelings about it at all?
It's gotta be the shit she was taking online, like the abuse. Like I mean,
you think it's coming from her end that she wants to leave, not from their end that they want her to leave?
I think it might be mutual because I think people like the studio's like, we cast you for a reason because you're a big star, because you're in this community, because we thought you would be good. The audience has not reacted that way, and you are getting a lot of hate. Like people were saying that she's not gay enough. Like that was like, I was like, what does that even mean? What does that even fucking mean? And even Ruby Rose came out and it's like, what are you talking about? I've been openly gay like almost my entire celebrity life. Like
what is it? I don't even know what.
yeah, that's
okay.
And that's the thing. It's like, it's one thing if it's like, oh, I didn't like her performance. I didn't, she can't do her own stunts or something.
I don't know if you saw that at all, Ben, but once the show did come out, that's what the narrative was. A lot of people didn't like her performance.
I also think that it's like, it's like, if you don't like her as casting, you're not going to like her performance.
Yeah.
There are very few examples. I'll say Heath Ledger's and, and it's all come down to Batman. Look what happened to Michael Keaton. People used to write in letters before the internet was invented. People were did a letter campaign to get Keaton kicked off. People didn't like Kilmer or Clooney. People didn't like Bale. People didn't like Heath Ledger. People didn't like Batfleck, like the hate that Ben Affleck got. So I don't ever really blame anyone. You see people stepping away from Star Wars now. I always forget his name, Finn. Now you got Ray Fisher in my head. What's his name? I always forget his name.
Wait, see, this is why I suck at trivia, because if you say it,
someone in chat's gonna give it to me.
Oh my god, what the hell?
I should know this. I'm playing in the Inner Geekdom tournament, but who knows? Oh, John Boyega, thank you.
John Boyega. You want to know what's so bad about that? My my ride or die partner in crime for life, Steph Sabra.
Yeah,
John Boyega is like her person. I mean, she would kill me if she just like all she talks about is John Boyega.
He's great, and you saw like the little video he made of like him moonwalking over hate comments and stuff, and it was the best thing ever. But he had to deal with that since the very first Force Awakens teaser when his face came up, and everyone's like, "Oh, blah 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 blah." I was like, it's tough out here to be in like a big nerd property like.
I was thinking it's hot out here for a pimp.
It's hot out here for a Batwoman.
Ben Rayner. Hi guys, I like Crystal Skull. Don't get hate for it. Okay.
Ben, I will say there are parts in that movie that feel vintage Indiana Jones, and then Shia LaBeouf starts swinging on vines with monkeys.
Austin Kramer said, "Yeah, that's what I meant." Auto corrected to Batgirl for some reason. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. For sure. I literally read it that way, I think. So, Nerds in Suits, our very own Ben Bateman in the house. He says, great stream, Roxy and Ben. Sorry about I said no spoilers. No spoilers in the chat. No spoilers in the chat.
Oh, Bateman.
We'll move through it. Hopefully, I didn't say it out loud, so hopefully some of you guys weren't reading it off the screen. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, everybody in here saying that he put in spoilers. I'm sorry, we're talking about it at the end. I told you guys we wouldn't do spoilers till the end. He said we had a good stream, but was he really listening? Because Jesus,
that guy's the worst.
Yeah, it'd be like giving away the end of what happened in Star Wars when. Just kidding.
Andrew Demaranta did that to me. I was like, yeah, I'm watching Rebels. I haven't really finished it. And he was like, oh, yeah, we'll just wait till this guy dies. I was like, Andrew, what the hell?
This is it. I'm so sorry. Are you, Ben?
Are you?
Party foul is right.
Someone just timed him out.
Oh my, he's been timed out. Amazing.
PLD and Jake were itching to time out of Ben. It didn't matter who it was.
Oh my goodness. Let's go back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. D-Train says, AMC Theaters is reporting a new trailer for Tenet coming. I laugh every time because I don't know how to say that word. Tenet coming.
Tenet? Now you're gonna get me saying Tenet, and I'm gonna be so mad at you.
Tenet coming later tonight. Holy shit! Could they actually make the release date? Will Tenet?
No, I will say no on that. This is a huge movie. This is not going VOD. They're not going to Scoob or Trolls World Tour. They're pushing this one back.
Yeah, I think so too. Like Jake Yakoveta says, nobody is immune. Yeah, that's right. And you get timed out because nobody is immune. Yakoveta in the house. I don't know if any movie. People are talking about going to the movies in August. I don't know, man. What happened?
Jay Buck, it's premiering in Fortnite. Oh my god, Jared, that's so funny.
Is that true?
No. But what they did with Star Wars is that
that's what they're saying. Tenet is airing its trailer on Fortnite. What does that mean?
No, are you serious? That's true? I thought that was a joke.
It's premiering in Fortnite Somebody tell us, is that real? You guys will let us know. The Manny says the
Oh
worst.
my God, it's true.
It's true?
Oh no. What is
Wait, what does that
world?
mean? What does that mean? Talk to me. So what does that even look like?
Okay, so you won't remember the crawl, but you know in Rise of Skywalker how they said that the Emperor put out this voice message like said, "Hey, I'm back," and the Empire's coming back.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the movie. It was in a Fortnite scene. So Fortnite will have these things where you go into the lobby and you just watch these big cutscenes. Like they've had bombs hit. They've had Travis Scott just had a concert. And so they do these really cool events. And I guess they're premiering the Tenet trailer in Fortnite, which
so fucking weird. What time are we living in? This is such a strange world. I don't even know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of where we're living now and what's happening.
I just don't get the audience. Like, because I play Fortnite, but it's like it's a younger crowd that really still plays Fortnite. So Star Wars makes sense. Yeah, I get Star Wars. Tenet, where it's like about time traveling cops and terrorist attacks. Like, what?
Bizarre. Strange McStrange. Garth says, I love that Ben was like, good joke.
That was a good joke. Oh man. This is the world we're living in. Where the president photoshops his head onto an Independence Day speech.
Oh my God. I can't deal with that. Garth McMurray in the Streamlab says, Ben, congrats on your friend Spider-Man beating me at that movie trivia match.
Yes.
Next time I'll have to watch the movie the day before. Do you ever watch fan league matches? The questions are often tougher than the Schmodown and could be good training.
I watched one match. I've watched Robert Parker versus Kevin Smets. That was the match I was told to watch, and it was a hell of a match. And you see why Parker's so good, and you see why Smets is who he is today. And yes, the fan league questions are harder. They are some deep cut questions.
How do you do when you play against the fans?
I played that one. I did okay. I can't remember what my score was, but I did okay.
How are you feeling about this tourney?
It's not my first choice to debut against the best players in the league all at once, but I'm gonna be as ready as I can for it. I'm excited to play your boy Vejvoda.
So that's our first match. That is our because that's our play-in match.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that both of us now. Obviously, I think I'm going to win because that's who I am as a competitor, and that's who you are as a manager. You think Jim's going to win, and that's who you should. Absolutely. But then we both have to play Parker. Like, whoever wins this match.
That's the thing. So a lot of people gave me crap because putting two players in, I have Alex Damon, who is establishing himself as an IG beast. You know, he's in this division now, and this is something he's really taking on. And then I have Vejvoda, who is actually just randomly very great, but it's not like he had been training all year. This was a newer revelation for us. So people said that I should have made Vejvoda my sure thing and had Damon play in. But the problem with having somebody play in is their next match is Parker.
And the next match is a number 1 seed or a number 2 seed.
So, and that's, I mean, I think the most nerve-wracking person to play in the entire tournament, even above Kalinowski, is Parker.
It's Parker because I feel like he's hungrier for it. And Mike is in the Inner Geekdom Hall of Fame. He's won the belt twice.
I think he's in the Schmodown Hall of Fame just in general. He's an incredible player.
He's top 5. Like, you could argue, there's always that argument for that 4th Rushmore spot.
Right.
Mike is in the argument for that 4th spot. It's it's Dan, Roker, Rachel on Rushmore, and that 4th spot is up for grabs. Mike is in that 4th spot for sure. Nothing but respect for Mike in the Schmodown. He's a good dude. Like, I'm not in the Schmodown. He's a great person. But Robert
Parker sometimes doesn't miss at all.
No, I don't want to spoil it, but watch that Lord of the Rings exhibition match. Like, kid's an animal.
I know. So it's tough. I was like, I don't want to throw either of my players to the wolves, but I think right now, and you never know what can happen, but you just have to take it match by match. And all anybody's trying to do is get 2 points. Just get a couple points in this. Like, we need to just take it one match at a time, get 2 points, you know? So it's tough, but yeah.
And that's I do feel like, and I'm not like trying to like complain about the seating, but I do feel like the Den like got some tough seating because I got a playing game, but it's against Jim, who's like a great overall player. Now, if he's good at Inner Geekdom, it's up to debate. But IGN used to pick comic book movies all the time for their spinner's choice, and Jim and his name is Eric Goldman?
Yeah.
They would kill it. So I know Jim at least knows his stuff. And like he's
a beast. This is what he does for a living. He's a beast. I'm not trying to
No. I know he's a good player.
He's a beast.
And then on the other side, we got Saul against Brandon Hanna, which is a great story, but Brandon's also a hell of a player too. And you know, I'm not doubting Saul, but we've never seen him play. That's just the fact. So I got full faith in Saul because that's why we drafted him. He's from day one. He's like, I'm strictly IG. I'm strictly IG. I'm strictly IG. So we're gonna see, but that's still a tough first round matchup. Just in a bubble. If Robert Parker was playing Brandon Hanna, if Kalinowski was playing Brandon Hanna, that's still a tough matchup.
I think everybody kind of feels like they get the short end of the stick because I've been feeling.
Who's Damon playing?
Kemp.
Okay.
So no idea.
Yeah.
You know, Jen Kemp, I believe Jen is her first name. So
yes, it's Jen Kemp.
I mean, so literally no idea, you know, like it's hard to tell. But I had 2 playing games. I had 1 playing game for Star Wars and I had 1 playing game for IG. That's not ideal to have playing games for both tournaments. That sucks. And then like also just in general right now, there's been so many, I mean, I've talked about it a little bit and I've talked to Christian about all of this too, but yesterday having the first, and no spoilers on this right now, but having the first match that we're ever doing, the first non-exhibition live match, there was obviously behind the scenes major complications. For both teams, for every person. And you are a little bit of the guinea pig and somebody had to do it. But do I wish it wasn't my faction? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
No crap. Nobody wants to be the guinea pig. But that's just the way it had to go. So, you know, there's a lot of things that I think right now, a lot of people feel like they're getting the short end of the sticks, and we'll see who actually does in the long run. Jen Kemp from the fan leagues. Yeah. So we don't know how she'll be. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. There's no sure things in this tournament. There's no like surefire wins. Like for for the Star Wars tournament, for the Inner Geekdom tournament, and like so I like all the matchups. It's just, you know, Parker, like he's lived up to the hype so far, and I like it's regardless of who plays him, it's gonna be a tough you know, first round match, but you know, second round for either of us. Yeah,
very challenging. Weston Ira on the Patreon said, "Hey, #Boxy." They always try to make ship names with me, and so Ben and Roxy.
Got it.
Hey, #Boxy. Ben, with the revealing of Assassin's Creed Meh, as I call it, what time setting do you think they should do next?
Well, they've done Ancient Rome, they've done Pirates, they've done American Revolution. Let's do a Civil War one. Let's do a Civil War. Going around.
Everyone loves the Civil War.
Yeah. Either that or like I feel like World War I is like the new like thing we're getting into, like, you know, with like, you know, Wonder Woman, with 1917. There was a Battlefield game with.
I love that movie. Oh, so good.
So it's amazing. I don't get like when like certain critics that I love and respect are like, oh well, it wasn't that good. I'm like, what movie did you watch? Because it must have been something else.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense to me, but everybody's got different taste on different things.
Yep.
So you can't really be too mad about it. Glenn Caesar reminded the people, 224 people watching, 133 likes. Hit that thumbs up, people. All right. So I do think we've skirted around it a bit. I do think it is time to talk about the match. So for anybody who has not seen the match yet and is planning on watching it, now might be a nice time for you to skedaddle. Before they do that, though, Ben, I just want you to be able to tell everybody all the things that you're working on. So where are the places they can find you if they are dipping out right now? I know you've got new shows, old shows, all shows. What's happening?
Sunday and Monday are going to be my two staple shows. Sunday morning coffee, and I think you just had him on. I'm having Alex Marzoni on Sunday.
His new song is fire.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking purely music. It's literally, and I'm okay with it. He's there to plug his stuff, and I'm all about it because Alex is one of the best. Yeah. And then Monday, we skipped this last Monday because of all the new streams, working and everything like that. But this Monday, cocktails and casting with me and Sabrina.
How's that going?
It's going really well. We had Bibbs on last week. Or, the week before doing Pulp Fiction. We had Andrew and Nikki DeMolanta doing The Phantom Menace. It's been fun. The cocktails have been great. Awesome. The casting has been like ridiculous, and the results have been like very controversial. Like, I can't believe they won. So this week we're doing Almost Famous. The Cameron Crowe.
Wow.
Yeah, so controversial. We're doing Almost Famous on Monday, and that's at 4:30. So make sure you guys check that out. And then Twitch.tv for all my Twitch streams. Been on there for a while now that I'm glad that people from the Schmoedown community are finally moving over to Twitch. We killed it yesterday with like almost 2,000 viewers in that premiere match. That was awesome. Damn. So yeah, now that you guys created a Twitch account, make sure you guys follow me.
That's how many it was? 19 to 2,000?
Yeah, I think it was like capped off at like 1940 at like the height of the match.
That's pretty awesome. I won't lie. I'm looking at this Alex thing, by the way, right now, as you said, because I know that we were trying to get him to 50 thumbs up, guys, and he is now at 70 thumbs up.
Hey.
Which is awesome. The rock stars are the best. So go follow Ben and all the things he's doing. Like he just said, you have no excuse now that you're already on Twitch, because we know you are.
Yes.
Go check him out. So I'm going to give you a 5-second countdown to everybody who wants to ditch so that you can go watch the match, because we are about to get into spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler talk about the Star Wars tournament, the match yesterday between Quevedo and Ace, Rockstars, and Swag. All right. So obviously you and I have two different perspectives on this match. Yes. My perspective being one in which I cried for 30 minutes afterwards. Your perspective being one from which I'm sure was very stressful, working on getting everything going on the other end. Yeah. So let me ask you this, as a fan of the league going into this match, what did you think? Who did you think was going to take this? How did you feel about Ace? How did you feel about Quevedo, who's relatively unknown?
That's the thing, is that Josh is so unknown. I had no idea. He could be a Robert Parker. He could be like, look at all the rookies we've had just in this last year with Chance, Paul, Smets, all champions, literally all champions coming from fan leagues. And Robert Parker's supposed to be the next one. So who knew what Josh was going to bring to the table? And then on the other side, and I don't mean to throw your boy Alex, he played well in his Inner Geekdom match, but he wasn't Alex Damon dominant like we've seen.
Right.
He wasn't.
No, and he knows. He knew. He said it.
And so, that's what I said about Ace. I was like, Ace got his butt kicked against Robert Parker, but that doesn't mean he's bad at Star Wars trivia, because you can be really good at Star Wars trivia and just be okay at Inner Geekdom. And so I wasn't counting Ace out either. So I really had no idea. I had a little bit, just because I know Ace and, he hosted Jedi Council. So I knew Ace's credentials. So I did have him favored simply because I knew nothing about Josh.
So going into this, because I got a few interesting text messages yesterday from players in the league after the game. A lot of people know, everybody who knows me knows how seriously I take this league. And for better or for worse, to me, it's everything. I'm obsessed with the Schmoedown. I am obsessed with being a manager. I love my players like they're my children. Like I am everything about it. This is my fantasy sports. I bleed it. I'm obsessed with it. So I take these losses like very hard. And I take the wins. So I probably too much so. I'm like this. I want to embody a little bit more Belichick in me, where I don't emote as much, but I can't help it. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And it's just been what it's been. So this one, going into it, because I didn't know him as well, obviously, how could I? He doesn't live here. He lives in Las Vegas. He's never played in the Schmodown before, but I needed a Star Wars player. I have the best player that's ever lived, but he couldn't compete. I said to Christian, if Damon puts his belt on the line for every single match in the tournament, can we have him play in the tournament? Christian said no, understandably so, but like I tried, you know.
Hey,
like
that's 12 points right there.
Yeah,
you gotta make a try for it.
Yeah, so I have to do something. And so I traded for Quevedo because that was the person who was speaking to that I felt the best about. I had talked to Molly Damon. She had told me that she didn't want to be on the same team as her husband based on like a conversation that husband and wife had. So what am I going to do? Push it on that? No, of course not. And so Quevedo was on the table and I was like, okay, let's figure this situation out. Let's make a deal. And listen, we spoke every single day since I traded for him. Every single day. He watched every Star Wars match. This guy played along to everything and was a beast. You see in round one, he doesn't miss a question. And there's a reason for that. He is so knowledgeable. It was his first time playing. I know he said he wasn't nervous, but he certainly was.
Yeah.
He clearly didn't know the rules. We had gone over them 1,000 times, obviously, but he didn't know them. And it caused him to lose the game. Sometimes this is about knowledge and sometimes this is about being a player. And Ace knows the game a lot better. And Quevedo spaced. He couldn't all the information he knew, he wasn't able to access. He forgot about multiple choice. He didn't know how long he had on timers. So he spit out a 5-point answer that was obvious that he knew what it was, but it was the wrong word, which we've seen happen before. I mean, talk about don't tell Peter, you know. We've seen some of the best players ever do this. And I honestly feel like if he was going to play again in the tournament tomorrow, he would win. But that's not the way it goes. And it's anybody's game. He didn't know he was running out of JTEs. He just, even though we had spoken about it, you know, there's so many rules and there's no official rule book. So there's nothing for him to look at. I kept typing out things for him, but there's just no official thing. So he used 3 of his JTEs instead of using multiple choice because he forgot he had them and then they were gone. And so just every rookie mistake that a rookie can make. And I wasn't able to help him. I wasn't able to be there to manage him. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't able to talk to him because of the way that the system worked. Which, you know, what am I going to do? Blame COVID for this? Like, that's not going to do much. It's nobody's fault, but that's just the way that it happened. And it sucked. It sucked. He called me right after as I was crying. I don't even know if he knows, but he was like, that was so much fun. And I was like, you know, because he doesn't have the same allegiance to a faction yet. Yeah. And, you know, I know that when Snyder or when Draco lose, they know they're fucking their faction. So that can be really challenging because when Snyder and Draco lose, they know this isn't just about us. This is about our faction. Yeah. So it's hard. And I think that he doesn't have that pressure yet. He doesn't have that weight. So he was just having fun. But next time, if and when there is a next time, we got to go into it completely differently because I needed desperately, as Red Nax is saying in here, and as some of the players texted me, I needed a timeout. If I had a timeout, then
that's the one rule change I will say we do need, just a T. Just because, like, even in, like, you know, the corruption family match when they were wondering about the question, just like a timeout, like 60 seconds to be like, hey, or 30 seconds, whatever. And it could be 30. You know, we're doing live streams. You don't want to be off camera for a full minute or something like that. And I get it. But yeah, I do agree, you know, and we've talked about it at length on Backstage of like what kind of rule changes we want. And literally every time it gets brought up, timeout. And so I hope that does. And like you said, in studio, it could have been a totally different story. And I told this to you before the stream. Like, you know, there was a player that's on my faction that was playing first game. You see him in the match, like he's a little nervous. And I just looked at him off stage and I was like, breathe, just breathe. And it helped. And that's all you could have done off stage during the round. Like, hey, multiple choice, you got it.
Don't forget you have multiple choice, like not during the question, but between questions, obviously. Yeah.
And you can hear yourself in the Stacey Howard match, you shouting encouragement every time she gets an answer right. Every time she gets an answer wrong, you're like, you got this next one. You got this next one. Mm-hmm. Same with so that's the thing, is that like, I get, hey, managers can't talk, but during the rounds, but everyone is yelling, everyone's like, you hear Kaiser like, get him Zip, get him Smash, like stuff like that. Just so regardless of what happens, your manager's there, people are there that have your back. But when you're on this, you're by yourself.
Tough. Yeah, and the thing is, as long as it's even, it's okay. And it was the same for both of us that Winston and I couldn't access them. However, it's not the same when one of them has played 5 matches or whatever Ace has played, and one of them has never played a match before. Your first match ever without having a manager there is so tough.
It is.
So I feel bad for him, but he sent me this beautiful text message this morning about how much this meant to him. And like, he's experienced a lot of loss in the last year. And he says this is just what he needs to try to like move forward with his channel and with the Schmodown. So, I feel for him. This was a tough one. And honestly, I'm feeling a little discouraged right now because the way that I thought this year was going to go after the Odd Couple lost and after Snyder lost, I was like, you know what? It's fine. They're going to play again in a month and they're going to win. When you lose because you spun opponent's choice and they spin spinner's choice, you can't be mad at your players. It is what it is.
Especially when the other team has to break the team's record to beat you.
Right. Like, my guys just are beasts, but they haven't been able to play again. So they haven't been able to get us any points. They haven't been able to play individually. They haven't been able to play together. I've just been stuck spinning my wheels. Yeah. And so our team was not set up in a way where we were prepared for an IG and Star Wars tournament to be 2 of the biggest things that happen in the entire, 2 of the only things, 2 of the only way to get points for the entire year.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the way that my team was set up.
And that's the thing, is that you have Josh that's saying like, oh, it's so much fun. And like, you can't, and that's the thing, like you want to, stress to him like, hey, you got to win. And he knows that. He knows he wants to win, but you can't be like, we are riding on you. You are my only way to make points right now. Oh my God, you better win. I need you to win. It's like, that's not going to help anybody. So you have to ride that fine line of like, hey, we need this, buddy. We need this. And he's already got enough pressure on him, especially in his first match, especially with nearly 2,000 people watching. It doesn't matter if it's online and
he doesn't
granted,
do
like
what we do for a living. He doesn't do live shows.
He knows Star Wars. He just doesn't know Schmodown. That's the thing. Like, and we say that all the time. You got to know the game. And he just didn't. Like going to multiple choice, not using your JTEs all right in a row, strategizing. And, we got to give credit to Ace. He got the steals when he needed to. He got his 2-pointer. And it's just like by that time, especially when you miss your first question, they steal it. You miss your second question, they steal it. That's so hard. That's so hard to recover.
See when somebody says the answer, he knows what it is. He just needed multiple choice. He needed
exactly.
It for those,
and even Ace did that with one of his questions that Josh missed it, but then Josh stole the last one. Yeah. So like Ace missed 2, he missed 2. So it could have been a very different game. I totally agree with you. But even Ace was like, "Oh, I should have gone a multiple choice. Like if you hear the answer, you know it. Like if you're like, oh, what is it? What is it? And then as soon as you're like, Chewbacca. Damn it, it is Chewbacca.
Using that part of your brain that has to access information. And you heard him say multiple times, oh, I used to know this. And it's like, when you're in it, then you're there. But this is your first one. Nerds in Suits, Ben Bateman, apologies for the spoiler. Tough loss, Rox. Woof,
it was tough.
It was a tough spoiler that you gave there. Yeah, it was a really tough loss. Gann says if Josh gets those 2 multiple choice, it's a 6-point swing. There were so many different ways in which Josh could have won yesterday, but he didn't, and he lost fair and square. And so the other bit of controversy in the match, obviously, was over the challenges. Mm-hmm. What counts as a challenge, I do think we need to be a little stricter on. Do you have to say the word challenge? Or if you're just asking a question, is it a challenge? Because obviously That's confusing. I know on the back end of things. So what people might not know is on the back end of things, Winston, to get everybody's attention in the private chat, used the word challenge.
Yes.
And then that was his way of getting on screen to ask a question. He wasn't intending on making that the challenge. He was intending on, this is from what I'm told, he was intending on asking a question and then making a challenge. First, he wanted to know, was the question asked in time? I mean, was the answer given in time? And if that was a yes, he wanted to challenge that the answer was incorrect.
Yeah.
But because he had said challenge in the chat and then he said challenge again, there was confusion on our end if he had lost one challenge, used one challenge. So I think that we, on the production side of things, we need to, or with the managers, we need to clarify, like, question needs to be written question, challenge needs to be written challenge. Like, you need to be clear about what you're saying and asking for everybody. But then once we figured out and the match had already ended, I was happy that they gave him that challenge, the points and the TKO, because he was right. It was a legitimate challenge, and Quevedo gave the wrong answer. And so they deserve those points. But I'm also concerned, and I wonder if you are as well, it's been very clear precedent in the past that once the match is over, you can no longer argue for more points, because that could change whether somebody won or lost. In the past, I have thought that we should have won matches that we lost based on 2 points, a point, based on a question. So are you concerned, like I am, now that you can change a match after the fact?
I think it's tough because on one hand, we've seen so many times in sports where they get the call wrong on the field, and then later the NFL or NBA will come and be like, hey man, we blew it, but so-and-so still lost. The call still stands. And it's like, why are you coming out with this, like, to let us know, like, you messed up, but nothing's going to change? Like, you're making yourselves look worse. Just pretend to, like, dig your heels in the sand and be like, no, we made the right call. Like, just back up your refs at least or something. But then on the other hand, it is tough because, even with the Matt Atchity, family challenge, like, oh, hey, I don't think the Dirty Dozen was this. And it's like, no, that was the right question and the wrong answer. They shouldn't have won that match, but they got it. And so I am glad that it's the good precedent to set when Ace would have won the match anyways. It just decided a TKO versus a W.
Right. So it didn't overturn who won.
Yeah, it didn't overturn who won. It's how much they won by. And even as the person that lost, like, we would have been tied with Swag for second place. Now we're in third because of it. I'm still okay with it because it was the right call. Now, granted, what do you
think if that had made them lose? What do you think we should have done?
I still think we should have overturned it because, so, like, if Josh, if that would have been his 5-pointer to win, I still think they should have overturned it because it was clearly the wrong answer.
I think it's such a challenging thing to say, though, because I don't agree with you, but there have been so many times where I'm like, no, that's wrong. But if you can overturn something afterwards, I will fight till the death. I will never stop. If there's no limitation in how long after I can fight for something, that's challenging. So
it is, and and that's the thing, is that we're not the NFL, we're not the NBA. We don't have people in New York reviewing every single play as it's going on. Like, it's Mark and Christian at the desk, and a manager being like, "Hey, I think that's right. Can I talk to you about it?" And them also running a live show to where, sorry, we don't have commercial breaks. We don't have, like, hey, let's go to our sponsors. We don't have we have Christian and Mark at the desk. We don't have, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman talking us through it, doing a replay over and over and over again to let the audience know, like, hey, they'll get this call right. That's clearly a catch. Oh, that's clearly, pass interference. No, we don't have that. We don't have the luxury of doing that.
We needed 5 minutes. We needed to take a 5-minute break, but we're on a live show. So what are they supposed to do? Yeah, I think they did the best they can. And I'm glad that he got the points because he deserved them. And I never, even if it means me losing, and even if it means me losing by more points, fair is fair. And I never want points I don't deserve. So I was really glad that they ended up doing that because I agreed with his challenge. And I even at the time texted him and said smart challenge, because I don't ever want points that aren't mine. It's not the kind of, I know that people give, who was it Atchity who came forward with something a while ago and was like, actually,
where he like challenged his own win.
yeah, and it was like, that's so silly, but like, I'm kind of like that. It's not a win is a win. I'm not. So I was glad they gave it to him, but I do think that we are going to need to look at rules for what's going to happen for these.
And you're right, especially with, because I was in the camp of like, should Winston get that challenge? Because I could have sworn he challenged if he got the answer right. And Christian said, no, he didn't. And he'd be like, okay. But it is like, stuff in the studio like, hey, I think I want to challenge this. That's not your official challenge. So they'll be like, so what do you want to challenge? Be like, and then you discuss with your player, like, do you think A, B, and C?
Yeah,
exactly. So I get it. I get both sides.
The other thing, Ben, though, that I'm like, we need to talk about this is when Winston challenged, he was able to see the live chat challenging, and everybody's saying this isn't the name. So I don't know that Ace would have challenged without Winston, and everybody in the chat, because I know they told the players to not look at the chat, but they didn't tell us managers to not look at the chat. Yeah. I know that, and if we're not supposed to, then maybe they need to clarify, but I was engaging with the chat. I wrote multiple times to the chat, like, get him Quevedo or whatever. So is Winston able to make a challenge based on the information he's getting from the chat?
It's I'm trying to think, what is it? It's a learning curve. What's that phrase? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a learning curve.
It's a learning curve to where like we need to make emotes, because I want to put the chat in emote mode only, to where people can like react but not be like, oh, that's a tough, like, because I was warning people, I don't want to see joke answers, I don't want to see silly answers, I don't want to see, oh, who's Darth Vader's father? Spock. I don't want to see that. Like, treat this as a live event. You wouldn't shout fake answers. You wouldn't, and people, who knows that the audience would have been like, oh, no, challenge. Like, there would have been like a murmur in the audience, like, oh, challenge me. I don't know. Kai Mundi is not Coyote Mundi or whatever, I call him Coyote Ugly, because I don't know Star Wars.
But yeah, I mean, I know, because he referenced it and was like, no, everything I'm looking up says, and we're actually not allowed to look things up on the sides. During the matches, we're actually not allowed to do that. So and again, I still think, by the way, this is not me backtracking, I still think Winston should have gotten the points, because the answer
it was the right call.
It was the right call, but I don't know that he should have even been able to make that challenge, because he made the challenge based off things that people were saying that I don't know that we're allowed to. I don't know. We need clearer rules on that. So again, we were the guinea pigs for a first match. Somebody had to do it, and it was us. And who knows if the match would have gone any other way otherwise? Probably not. Maybe yes. Who knows? But I am excited for Ace, because I think he proved himself to be a beast of a player. And two people getting 10 points in round one, not too shabby.
Right? Like, 2 perfect rounds. They each got, Josh got 1 steal, Ace got 2. And then, Josh, it was burning his JTEs. If he had 1 more JTE for that, he would at least made Ace answer his 3-pointer at the very least.
JTE. He had so many more seconds. They weren't even counting. He just splurted it out.
Yeah.
He just splurted it out, and he didn't know. He was like, I didn't know how much time I had. It was like, but he's watched so many of these. Anyway, we are running so over, because I wanted to make sure we did that spoiler discussion of that. But thank you guys for joining us for that. Ben Goddard in the house, everyone. Round of applause.
Thank you so much for having me again today. It was so fun.
Always make these shows go so fast. It's a good thing,
because we're just talking. We just have.
I know. And you guys at home too, thank you for joining us for this and making the conversation so enjoyable. For an hour and 20 minutes, I forgot that life is tricky and we're in quarantine. So I appreciate you guys. I know Ben already said all the shows and places you can find him, but right here, how do I point to you? Here, like that. Follow him, and he'll tweet out and install all the things he's working on. In terms of housekeeping over here, I've got some guests coming up for show. You guys know I like to do a Friday stream at solo, because
Dude, you've been killing it, man. How you book guests every like 7 days a week, or 6 days a week, and Friday's your solo show? That's insane. Like, fucking shout out to you, man.
I'm really excited about it because it's been my way to hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
But I will say I definitely am looking for suggestions from you guys because now that I've been doing this for 2 months, and sometimes we'll have repeat people. Obviously, Ben today was one of our first repeats. For our fave people. That's why I asked you guys the other day who your favorite guests on the show, which is why Ben's back here.
Yay.
Yeah. But I want suggestions from you guys who you want me talking to. But we've got some cool people coming up. I know that JTE is coming on some point next week. We haven't figured out the date yet. But Saturday, we are doing a crossover between Live at the Roxy and Only Stupid Answers. So both Sam and DJ will be on the show because so much stuff happened this week in DC and with nerd stuff. So we're doing a crossover event on Saturday that will be really fun. That will be here on this channel. And then it will also be available on their Patreon. So you guys can watch here, go support them there. We also have Adam Gertler coming on Tuesday. He finally has figured out how other people can make his sausages. So, oh my God, kid's been working every single day. He opened a doghouse the day that quarantine hit.
Oh my gosh, I was so sad because like me and Sabrina got in and out before I dropped her off at the airport, and we were just like sitting in the parking, like the strip mall, and like over there was like a nail salon that says opening March 13th. And I was like, oh no, that's so sad. Like that's someone's business that opened up at just like the wrong time.
It's really tough. So yeah, a bunch of great guests coming up, but I'll keep you guys posted on that. Again, round of applause for Ben Goddard. You rock.
Thank you so much. This is always so fun.
Thank you guys at home, and I'll see you tomorrow, 2:30. That's our time on Fridays, 2:30. 2:30. Is that how I say it? 2:30. At 1, I do DC movie news, so you're gonna want to check that out as well because it was a hell of a DC week.
Yes.
But otherwise, I'll see you guys here tomorrow.